Genghis Khan's burial site has never been found. Not because nobody looked, because anyone who witnessed the funeral was immediately executed. 40 virgin girls, 40 horses, all killed and buried with him. Then the soldiers who buried him, also killed. The soldiers who killed those soldiers? You guessed it. Killed. The Mongols took secrecy seriously. But that's just the start of what your history teacher conveniently forgot to mention. Today we're breaking down the facts about the Mongol Empire that somehow never made it into your textbooks. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and let's dive into some serious Mongol madness. One. Sky burials, feeding the dead to vultures. Here's how regular Mongols handled death. No burial, no cremation. They'd take the body to a remote hilltop, leave it there, and let nature handle the rest. Vultures, wild dogs, wolves, whatever showed up, got a meal. This was called sky burial. The Mongols believed the body was just an empty vessel once the soul moved on. Why waste effort burying it when you could give back to the ecosystem? Feed the predators, protect their prey. Circle of life, step addition. But there were rules. The body had to face north, the direction of the next world. Stones were placed around it to ward off evil spirits. And for 49 days after death, the family couldn't cut their hair, hunt, or even attend feasts. The deceased's name became forbidden. You couldn't speak it or reuse it for future children. The Mongols wanted the dead forgotten quickly. No lingering attachments. No reasons to talk about them. The faster everyone moved on, the better. This practice came from their blend of shamanism and Buddhism. Death wasn't an end. It was transmigration to the next life. The corpse. Just discarded meat. Better to use it as food than let it rot pointlessly in the ground. 2. Drinking horse blood on long rides. Mongol warriors could ride for days without stopping. How? They drank blood from their horses, not killing them, just cutting into a vein in the horse's neck, drinking what they needed, then sealing it back up. The horse would be fine. The warrior got hydration and nutrients without needing to stop for food or water. This wasn't some emergency measure. This was standard practice. Mongol horses were small, hardy, and could travel incredible distances without fatigue. But even they had limits. So instead of carrying heavy supplies, Mongol warriors just tapped the horse. Mobile blood bank. It gets better. Mongols also drank fermented mare's milk called airag, still the national drink of Mongolia today. Slightly alcoholic, packed with vitamins, easy to make. You just milk the mare, let it ferment in a leather bag, and drink. Tastes sour, apparently. But when you're conquering the largest land empire in history, you're not worried about flavor profiles. 3. Khutulun, the wrestling princess. Genghis Khan's great-great-granddaughter Khutulun was a warrior, and she had standards. She told her father she'd only marry a man who could defeat her in wrestling. Any suitor who lost had to give her 100 horses. She reportedly accumulated over 10,000 horses. Do the math. That's at least 100 failed suitors. Probably way more. Marco Polo wrote about her. He described how she'd ride into battle alongside her father, grab enemy soldiers right off their horses mid-combat, and bring them back as prisoners. She was that strong. Her father wanted her to get married because Mongol politics required it. She refused until she found someone worthy. Eventually, she did marry, not because some guy beat her in wrestling, but because she chose to. On her terms. Khutulun represents something historians often skip. Mongol women had way more freedom than women in most medieval societies. They could own property, divorce their husbands, refuse marriages. Some even ruled as regents. Turgen Khatun, Ogedei Khan's widow, ruled the entire Mongol Empire for 5 years. At that time, she was literally the most powerful woman in the world. 4. The Caliph wrapped in a carpet. When the Mongols sacked Baghdad in 1258, they captured the Caliph, the religious and political leader of the Islamic world. Hulagu Khan, Genghis's grandson, had a problem. Mongol superstition said spilling royal blood would bring disaster. So they got creative. They rolled the Caliph up in a carpet and trampled him to death with horses. Technically, no blood was spilled. Problem solved. This wasn't cruelty for its own sake. The Mongols were pragmatic. They had a rule about royal blood. The Caliph needed to die for political reasons. So they found a workaround that satisfied both requirements. The sack of Baghdad itself was catastrophic. Estimates suggest 200,000 to 1 million people died. The city burned for weeks. Libraries were destroyed. Priceless manuscripts thrown into the Tigris River. The water reportedly ran black with ink. 5. Interfaith debates at the Khan's court. In 1254, Möngke Khan organized a formal religious debate at his court. He invited teams of Christians, Muslims, and Buddhists to argue their beliefs in structured rounds. Think medieval theological debate club. Except the stakes were which religion might influence the most powerful empire on earth. How did it end? Everyone got drunk and stopped arguing. No winner declared. Möngke thought it was hilarious. This captures Mongol religious tolerance perfectly. They didn't care what you believed as long as you paid taxes and didn't rebel. Genghis Khan established religious freedom across the empire. Buddhist? Fine. Muslim? No problem. Christian? Sure. Tengrist shamanism? Also cool. This was revolutionary. Most medieval empires forced conversion. The Mongols? They hired the best people regardless of faith. Need Chinese engineers? Hire them. Want Persian doctors? Bring them in. European metalworkers? Welcome aboard. Merit mattered more than religion. That attitude helped them conquer and rule such diverse territories. 6. Getting defeated by their own tactic. At the Battle of Ain Jalut in 1260, a 10,000-strong Mongol force faced Egyptian Mamluks. The Mongols were confident. They'd never lost a major battle in the Middle East. The Mamluks used the Mongols' favorite tactic against them: feigned retreat. The Mamluks pretended to break and run. The Mongols charged after them. The Mamluks led them into a trap, then turned around and annihilated them. The Mongols had been using feigned retreats for decades. Fake panic, draw the enemy in, surround and destroy them. It worked every time, until someone used it against them. This battle stopped Mongol expansion into Africa and preserved Mamluk Egypt. It was one of the first times anyone successfully beat the Mongols using their own playbook. 7. The Soviet Union erased Genghis Khan from Mongolian schools. For most of the 20th century, if you were a Mongolian kid in school, you learned almost nothing about Genghis Khan. The Soviet Union, which controlled Mongolia, actively suppressed his legacy. They removed him from textbooks, forbade pilgrimages to his birthplace, downplayed his achievements. Why? Because Genghis Khan represented Mongolian nationalism. The Soviets wanted Mongolia under their thumb, a national hero who'd built the largest land empire in history. That's dangerous to authoritarian control. This lasted until 1990, when Mongolia gained independence. Then, Genghis Khan came roaring back. Today he's on their currency, their airport is named after him, and there's a 130-foot-tall silver statue of him, on horseback, outside Ulaanbaatar. Imagine if your national hero, equivalent to George Washington or Winston Churchill, was erased from your country's history for 70 years. Then suddenly reappeared everywhere. That's what happened in Mongolia. 8. Typhoons saved Japan twice. The Mongols tried to invade Japan twice, 1274 and 1281. Both times, massive typhoons destroyed their fleets. In 1274, Kublai Khan sent 900 ships with 40,000 troops. They landed, fought some battles. Then a storm hit and sank maybe 30% of the fleet. They withdrew. In 1281, Kublai tried again. This time with 4,400 ships and 140,000 troops. one of the largest naval invasions in history up to that point. They established a beachhead. Things looked bad for Japan. Then another typhoon. This one catastrophic. It destroyed maybe 60 to 90% of the Mongol fleet. Thousands drowned. The invasion collapsed. The Japanese called these storms kamikaze, divine wind. They believed the gods had intervened to save Japan. The term later got reused in World War II for suicide pilots, but originally it meant these typhoons that stopped the Mongols. Archaeologists have found shipwrecks from these invasions off the Japanese coast. The typhoons were real, whether they were divine intervention or just spectacularly bad luck for the Mongols, you decide. The Mongol Empire didn't just conquer through military force. They built the most religiously tolerant society of their time. They gave women rights unheard of in medieval Europe. They created a postal system faster than anything that existed for the next 600 years. They connected East and West in ways that shaped the modern world. But they also practiced sky burial, drank horse blood, executed entire populations, and had wrestling princesses who collected horses from defeated suitors. Your history teacher skipped all that because it's complicated. The Mongols weren't purely good or purely evil. They were pragmatic, brutal, innovative, and surprisingly progressive all at once. That's real history. Messy, contradictory, way more interesting than the sanitized version in textbooks. If you want more deep dives into what actually happened, not the Hollywood version, hit that subscribe button. We break down real Mongol history every week. Drop a comment telling me which fact surprised you most, or what topic you want next. The Mongols conquered the world. Then the Soviets tried to erase them from history. Now you know why they failed. You can't erase something that impressive. That's Mongol madness. See you next time.